It's time to take a look at what I picked up from Bolton Gaming Market. Alright everyone, hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me once again. I'm the man they call Pixel Paul, and hopefully you'll have seen my video having a look around the Bolton Gaming Market from this past weekend. Really enjoyed it. Another gaming market. Yep, that's 2 already done this year. No plans at the moment to go to any others, but who knows what might happen. I may be swayed and persuaded to go to another one at some point during the year. I do like them, so I'll be easily persuadable in a way. But yeah, hopefully you've seen that video. If you haven't, I'll put a link to it in the description or up here or wherever. But the whole point of this one is to show you what I picked up from the market itself. So I picked up a grand total of 10 games this time. I went with a relatively healthy budget this one as well. I had some money sort of saved up. I'd also put aside some money that I kind of earned through rewards, through the bank and that kind of thing. So I had a relatively healthy budget for this one. Not masses and masses and tons of money by any stretch, but a nice healthy kind of budget. And I went with the intention of hopefully picking up 1 or 2 games. I had the usual list, but 1 or 2 games that I've always wanted. I always go to the gaming markets with that intention, but rarely seem to come away with, with a lot of them. But I feel like actually this time, certainly 2 games that I've always wanted to own physically, I've managed to pick up. But anyway, let's get into those. I'll also give a few thoughts on the market itself again, and the people that I met while I was there as well. But let's get straight in. So the first game that I picked up was this one. Now I picked up another 2 games actually from the same sellers, and these guys were at the Leeds Gaming Market. And I think at the Leeds Gaming Market these guys were my favourite sellers, just because they had a really nice variety of games. You know, a lot of disc-based stuff, a lot of retro stuff. Really well catered for if you want your Mega Drive and your Master System. And they were also doing some deals on some of their games as well, which I sort of got a couple of games from Leeds as well. This one wasn't in a deal, but it seemed very reasonably priced to me. It wasn't on my list, but it's a game that I had back in the day on the Super Nintendo, and I've always wanted to play it again. I've always wanted to pick it up again. They had it on the Mega Drive, and I thought it was pretty reasonably priced, so I've grabbed it. And it is Dragon, the Bruce Lee story on the Mega Drive. So yes, £20 I paid for that, and this is from, is it Direct Deals? Direct Deals. So yeah, I think they're I'm really impressed with them. And actually the guy who was serving on that stall, he remembered me from the Leeds Market because I bought Wipeout from them as well, so he remembered that too. So yeah, Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, like I said, had it on the SNES. Such a great film. I love that film. It's an amazing film. It's in a sleeve, so I'm going to open this. It does say manual included, so we'll go with that. Remember, Wipeout was in really nice condition, so I'm expecting more of the same with this one, really. Some people don't like these baggy things, and you know, a lot of the sellers at the markets now are using these. I kind of get it in a way, because it means people aren't constantly opening, you know, the boxes and, you know, getting grubby fingers all over discs and cartridges and what have you, and manuals getting ruined. It does make it awkward to buy, and there is a level of jeopardy with it as well. But from these guys, you know, I've got past experience and 100% trust them. So I'm looking at this, yeah, justified. Look at that, very nice. I mean, that looks almost brand new. It's not bad, that is it at all. Nice manual there. Cartridge as well is great. Yeah, look at that, Dragon. So Dragon was essentially a bit of a 2D beat 'em up. Well, yeah, fighting game, whatever you want to call it. But there are elements where you also sort of fight 2 versus 1 as well. So you always play as Bruce Lee, and it's kind of, they try and weave the story of the film and his life essentially into the game as well. So it's quite clever. It's quite hard. It's not the easiest game, but you use kung fu against various different enemies. You can also use things like nunchucks as well, and bow staffs if I remember right. So yeah, really looking forward to playing this one again. £20 is a reasonable price to pay for that as well. I couldn't find a copy of it listed on CEX at the moment, so looking on eBay, you're looking in this condition and complete probably around £30. So £20, I thought, yeah, that's not bad at all. So I was very happy with that one. The next two, also from the same sellers, direct deals. So again, I took advantage of their 2 for £15 offer, and I picked up another 2 games. This game, it's weird because I only sort of became aware of this game a week or 2 ago. I checked it out on CEX. CEX sold it for £12, but I think there was a copy of it somewhere near me, but nowhere that I would naturally just go, CEX store. So it's one that I thought, well, if I ever see it, I will pick it up and give it a try. The game is on the PlayStation 4, Zen Studios VR Collection for PSVR. So yeah, it was in the 2 for 15, so I've essentially paid £7.50 for it. This is a little collection of kind of VR mini games. And like I said, I'd not heard of it before, and just it intrigued me. So on here you've got Infinite Mini Golf, Out of Ammo, which is an RTS game that includes first-person shooter elements. Sounds intriguing. Castle Storm, which is like a management, a tower defense type game. And then Pinball VR as well. Epic Quest Pinball VR, which sounds quite cool, actually. That sounds quite good. So yeah, just an intriguing little collection of VR games. And yes, I am back in the world of VR gaming. Video to come soon. Yeah, really, really enjoying PSVR again. So this is a nice addition. Yeah, not sure what they're going to be like. Not sure what the quality of these games is like. But I'm sure I've read a review, and one of these games people say is absolutely amazing. So hopefully that one, whichever one it is, I'm hoping it's the mini golf, is worth the price alone. So yeah, £7.50 paid for that. It is a £12 game in CEX. And then the second part of that deal, I also picked up Xenon 2, what's it, Mega Blast, on the Sega Master System. So another Sega Master System game added to the collection. Again, should be complete. I'm pretty sure it will be. I'm just going to open it up again. Try and do that away from the microphone, because otherwise that horrible noise picks up. Chuck that down there. Box is in mostly nice condition. There's a bit of a ding on the box there, and there's no tab, which I'm not that bothered about again. But yeah, overall, it's nice and clean, nice and colourful. Love the front cover. Great front cover. And yeah, as expected, nice and complete as well. So yeah, Xenon 2 Mega Blast. Is it a top-down shooter? It is a top-down shooter. It's not side-scrolling shooter. Yeah, not sure. Bit of a punt in a way, but I like shooting games. Well suited to the sort of 8-bit systems, really. So yeah, looking forward to giving that one a go. And at that price, I thought that was pretty good. Xenon is £8 in CEX at the moment, boxed and complete. So yeah, just under the CEX price. But yeah, nice little addition. Another addition to the Master System games. The next 3 games were all from the same seller as well. I didn't catch the name of the seller, actually, but this guy was sort of situated at the back of the hall, and he was sort of to the left. And from what I can gather, he was selling off all his games 50% off, so 50% off the mark price. Apparently he's moving away from games and sort of more into kind of like the models and statues and whatever they're called. So he's trying to apparently just trying to get rid of all his games as well. He had a reasonable selection of stuff. It was obvious that he'd been trying to sell this stuff before, so this is kind of what he's been left with. I've picked out 3 things, which I've got for a reasonable price there. There were some interesting stuff on his stall, though. He had a whole box full of Japanese PlayStation 2 games. Obviously, all the spines are in Japanese, so it's hard to sort of see what games were, but I was sort of rooting through them, just having a look and see if I sort of recognised any games. And there were a couple. There was a lot of J-League games, which looked quite good, with like J-League superstars from back in the day, who I had no idea who they were. But they were all quite good. There's some really obscure covers as well. So there was one with a guy sort of like on the front. It was a yellow cover shouting, and you look on the back and it's a baseball game. It's like, that's random. But some really amazing front covers actually on some of those Japanese games. Some of the RPGs or JRPGs, great artwork on them. There was a copy of 13, so the first person shooter, the cell shaded one, 13. It had such a great front cover on that, the Japanese version. I think he had, I want to say maybe about £15 on that, so it would have been about £7.50. It'd be a nice sort of to have kind of thing on the shelf, but I've got the actual game itself twice, or like the remaster and the original version, so I wasn't going to pick it up again. But it was nice. It was a nice sort of shelf piece in a way. And there were a few others as well. I think From Russia with Love was in there as well, a Japanese version of that too. But I didn't pick up any of those. I just went for some cheap and cheerful stuff from him, all 50% off. So the first one I got was This Is Football on the PlayStation. He had £4 marked up, so that was £2. But yeah, very nice and complete. Disc was good as well, if I remember right. Well, disc was a little bit scratched, but for £2, who's going to complain? But manual's all right. But yeah, This Is Football. Interesting one. I've never played This Is Football. I haven't played any of the This Is Football games, actually. There was This Is Football 2 on the PlayStation 1, and then I think it moved on to PlayStation 2 after that. I can remember a cover with Rio Ferdinand on the front of it. But yeah, I've never played any of these games, so interesting to see what that's like for £2. Then I also picked up on the Nintendo GameCube 007 Agent Under Fire. Yeah, I've already got this on PlayStation 2, I know. You had £8 on that, so I paid £4 for it. It's a £5 game in CEX, so yeah, just under. But again, nice and complete. And I do like my Bond games as well. I've never played this one on the GameCube, so you never know. One day, if the mood calls, I'll give it a go on the GameCube, possibly. But it's a decent game, isn't it? It's not quite as good as the other Nightfire, but yeah, it's all right. Agent Under Fire. So yeah, £4 paid for that one. And then this one, again, this was marked up at £4. So I got it for £2. It's a £2.50 game in CEX, so I've got it a little bit cheaper. I just never heard of this game, never seen this game. I am such a sucker for PlayStation 2 games that I've never seen before. If I see a PS2 game with a title I've never seen, with a front cover I've never seen, if it's at the right price, I'm likely to pick it up. And that's what's happened with this one. So this game is called Downforce, and looking at it, from what I can tell, it's kind of a future racer F1, like a future F1 racer, something like that. Yeah, because I mean the cars on the front look like F1 cars, but it's got some sort of future kind of twist to it. Yeah, I don't know anything about it, I must admit. I don't know anything about it. Other than box art's all right. Back box art is okay too. Not sure why they didn't use her on the front of it, really. And yeah, disc and instructions. Again, just like really immaculate, actually. Disc is great. Instructions, perfect. So, yeah, I don't know anything about it other than, yeah, it's just grabbed my curiosity. So I'll give that a look and see what it's like. Actually, the sticker on the front, you know, where they have the reviews. I mean, it's had an 8 out of 10, an 8 out of 10 from PSI and P2, PlayStation World, give it a sort of decent write up there. So, I'm surprised I've never heard of it before. Maybe it's more common than I actually realised, but no, we'll see what that one's like anyway. Right, next up. Now this one is an interesting one. So, I didn't actually find this one. When I was queuing up for the market, quite early, I was quite near the front of the queue. I was actually joined in the queue. He was a bit further at the front of the queue, but he spotted me and came and stood with me at the bit further back. It's the guy who has gifted me a couple of things, who I met from the car boot sale a couple of years ago, Carl. And we've met a couple of times now, me and Carl, and we get along really, really well. So he came and stood with me in the queue, which was really nice because it made the time fly by. We were having a good chat. And yeah, we spent a bit of time as well walking around the market together. He also pointed out one or two things for me, you know, that he knew because he watches the channel. So he pointed out a few things. But he also sort of came across this, and he knew, and this is going back to the Leeds Gaming Market. So if you remember, I bought Stranglehold Xbox 360 Steelbook at Leeds Gaming Market. I think I got it for about £5 or something like that, and it came with a slipcover. Actually, there it is. Let's get that. It came with a slipcover on the front of it, which I knew Stranglehold didn't have a slipcover. And when I looked, I found out, or suddenly, you know, quickly realised that it was actually a slipcase for Vanquish. But I had no idea Vanquish had a steelbook. So I was sort of semi-looking around to see if I could find this Vanquish Steelbook, because I've got the lenticular cover version of it for the Xbox 360. That's up there. I'm not getting that. But I had no idea there was a steelbook for it. So yeah, it was just something that I was always going to sort of keep my eye out for and see if I could get the actual game to go with this slipcase. And Carl at the gaming market in Bolton found it. Look at that. Oh, it's a beautiful steelbook. Absolutely amazing. Do love that. It's a great game, Vanquish. I do love Vanquish. I think it's just such a mental game. It's just pure action sci-fi game. Absolutely amazing. I've not opened it again, so £8. Well, £8 Carl paid for it. He picked it up just to sort of make sure that someone, that he'd got it, and he straight away came over and found me, and I gave him the £8 for it straight away. It's nice and complete though, so I've got the game again. But yeah, steelbook. It's a little bit rough and ready. It's it's not in absolute mint condition. There's the usual sort of scuffs on the top of it more, as you can see there. I don't think it's rust actually, it's more kind of just scuffage. But overall, the front cover is great. So yeah, Vanquish Steelbook. And I love a Steelbook, and especially when a Steelbook is as good as that. And the cover art for Vanquish is great as well. So I'm going to now put that in the slipcase. And there we go. We now have that Vanquish Steelbook complete. Right, the last 3 games then. So, bit of a mixed bunch, these 3 games, in a way. The 3 games that I am, again, happy with. Which one shall we go? I'll show you this one first. So this one, yeah, this was a bit of a late day kind of pickup. I think it was the last one I picked up, actually. Again, it's a game I've been wanting to play because I've never played it in the past, never had it in the past. So it's always intrigued me. The boxed version of it, and I did spot a boxed version of it, I think was £40. And it was a bit rough and ready, the one that they had in the gaming market. I think boxed in CEX it's probably about the same, 40 to 50 quid, something like that. So I bought the cartridge only because I just wanted to play the game, really. The cartridge only in CEX is £8, so I have paid a little bit over on this one. And I paid, well, they had £12 on it. It was £10. It's Dr. Franken on the Super Nintendo. So I really like the Game Boy version of Dr. Franken. And essentially this is just the same game apparently, but on the SNES. So it's just one that's always intrigued me. I've always fancied playing it. Yeah, £10 paid for it. Yeah, they had £12 on it, but I managed to get them down to 10. And yeah, £8 in CEX, but you just don't see it all that often. But it's not in bad condition. It's a bit grotty. The pins look alright. Pins look alright, to be fair. It just needs a bit of a clean on the back. It's a bit yellow, but we'll be able to get rid of that. So yeah, finally got Dr. Franken on the Super Nintendo. Who knows, if I do like it enough, maybe I'll still look for a boxed version of it, but I think probably the cartridge only version of it is probably enough for this. So yeah, another one that I was happy with. This one. This one. Right. So this one, I have again Carl to thank for this because he spotted it. I think we just kind of gone our separate ways. We were going to split up for a little bit. And as soon as we split up, he ran back over and said, oh, I've seen this. They've got this on the table. So I came over and had a look. And yeah, this is another game that I've never played before. I always wanted the N64 version of it. I've seen the PlayStation 1 version of it a few times. It's always been sort of a bit highly priced for me, but I've always just fancied playing it on the N64. I think because at the time when it came out, beat 'em ups on the N64 had a bit of a rough ride. They just weren't really clicking on the N64. But more, well, I nearly gave it away there. This game kind of broke the mold a little bit. This was one of the first beat 'em ups on the N64, which was supposedly pretty good, but I just never got around to playing it. So yeah, they had it in the gaming market, and it is this version. It is in a bag, but I have opened this before the video. So it is Mortal Kombat 4 for the N64. They had £35 on that. I got them down to 30 on that. A copy of this in CEX is 60 quid. So essentially, I've got 50% off it. There is a compromise with it, and I'm sure you can probably spot the compromises already. When it was in the bag, it didn't look horrendous. It didn't look great, but it didn't look that bad, but I knew, and you know, I could spot pretty quickly the things that were not great about it. But like I said, you know, a saving of 30 quid is quite a lot. And to be fair, I mean, I saw a couple of cartridge only versions of this at the market, and they were charging about £30-35 for that. So yeah, it's there is a compromise with this one. So the box is very, very rough and ready. Where do I start? Right, so we'll start with the front. So there is a bit of rippage on the front there, which isn't great. There is a sticker on the front there, which I will probably attempt to get off. Another World Trade-in Centre. Not sure who that is. 01332. I'll probably try and get that off. I've got pretty good at getting these things off. So yeah, the front is not that bad, in fairness. There is a bit of sticky residue on there, which I'll be able to get off as well. So the front will clean up pretty well. I suppose the biggest issue is the tab on the side is missing. So the lid is missing on that side, and the one on this side is ripped. Now that one, I think, with a little bit of sellotape on the back, there's going to be a bit of a fudge job, this one. That'll look okay. So it's, yeah, the more I look at it, the more I look at it now, the more I'm sort of thinking, Jesus, this is horrendous. But no, once I get that sort of sellotape together and flattened, that will look okay. Once I get it into a box protector as well, I mean, who's going to know? But yeah, it's going to need a bit of a flatten. The back is actually... The back's not too bad. Back's not too bad. A bit of rippage there. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty horrendous box. It's not the. It's a pretty. You can see that falling off there. It's a pretty horrendous box. It probably is. But like I said, once you get it into a box protector, you're not going to notice that much in a way. So the important bit, though, is the manual. Is immaculate. How the manual has stayed in such good condition in that horrendous box, I do not know. But the instruction booklet is actually pretty crispy and new. So fair play. So yeah, that's in really good condition. And then we've got a pretty decent actually inlay box as well. So that's not too bad. And it's one of those plasticky ones as well. So they do rip and tear and get bashed quite a bit, but it's not in bad condition. That. Then the cartridge looks great. So I am overall happy with it, but just there are compromises with it, and the box is not brilliant. The box isn't brilliant, but I think for the price I paid, essentially almost like the cartridge only price in a way, to get the manual and a box I can put the cartridge in, I am happy with that relatively. Like I said, once I get it in the box protector, once I get it a bit cleaned up, it'll look alright that when I put it on the shelf with the rest of the N64 games. It is almost falling to pieces as I speak. Oh god, it is horrendous. This will easily be the worst boxed. No, I tell a lie actually. I do have one game boxed, which is probably worse than that. It's Striker on the SNES. That one's pretty horrendous. But this is a close second. But I am happy to get this game because I haven't played it and I'm looking forward to giving it a go. So overall, with the compromises, I think for the price I paid, not too bad that one. Happy enough. Last game, saved my favourite pickup of the day till last. This was actually from, is it Sore Thumbs? Yeah, some Sore Thumb Retro Games. We all know about Sore Thumb Retro Games. Based in, where are they based? York. Yeah. They're usually at every gaming market. We usually have some interesting stuff as well. Nice variety of stuff. Apparently the store is absolutely amazing. I've never had a chance to go, but hopefully sometime this year I'm hoping to go to York. So maybe at some point I'll be able to go. This was one of the games. When I look at the stalls, you know, they all have their trays of games pretty much, and then a lot of them have the sort of games behind the actual sellers on these racks, and those are the games that are a bit more sought after, a bit more pricey. When I go to the game markets, I do tend to go to the stalls and immediately look down because that's the stuff that I can kind of usually afford. But this game was on the back, and I spotted it straight away, and straight away I was like, finally, I found a nice looking boxed copy of this game. So this is a game on the Game Boy. I had it back in the day. I don't think I had it boxed, or I might have even borrowed it off somebody, so I might not have ever owned it myself. I think I might have borrowed it off a friend back in the day and played it. Never finished it back then, but I've always wanted to buy this and have this game myself. So I am really pleased to finally find it. I did deliberate a little bit, but the other guys sort of said, you should just go and get it. You should just try and, see if you can get a bit of money off it, and yeah, go for it. So the game is Alien 3 on the Game Boy. Yeah, I know, it's probably not the most exciting game ever or anything like that, but for me, I just remember loving this game. I just thought it was so good. I like the Alien 3 games in general. It's an amazing movie tie-in, and at the same time, it's a really horrible movie tie-in because it has absolutely nothing to do with the movie. If they were just kind of Aliens games, they'd be, great movie tie-ins. But as an Alien 3 movie tie-in, it's just weird because it has very little to do with the movie itself. But the Master System, Mega Drive, and SNES versions of Alien 3 are all pretty similar, sort of 2D platformer, shoot 'em up, run and gun type games. Whereas this one is very, very different. This one is it's like a top, and I mean the screenshots are horrendous. The graphics on it are quite small actually. The characters in it are quite small, so you probably can't tell much from that. But it's sort of a top-down, almost like maze, collect 'em up kind of game. You have to, find your way to here, pick up key card, find your way all your way back, open door, that kind of thing. And eventually an alien does appear and start to sort of kill off all the other prisoners. So to a degree, this is more of a closer game to Alien 3 than the other versions in a way. But yeah, so Sawthorne Retro Games I got this from. They had £45 on it. I got them down to 40, so they took 40 on that. That is, I have paid a little bit more than what CEX. So a CEX mint copy of it is £35. And I have had a look at this already. This isn't as far off being mint in a way. So I'm going to open this up. I suppose there is one thing on here that probably stops it from being mint. I'll show you that in a second. You might have already spotted it. So yeah, I got this for 40, knocked him down from 45. But that's the game there. And it is in pretty decent condition, that. For a Game Boy game, very nice, really. Little bit of marks on the side there. But yeah, you've also got stickers on the back. So again, that will probably come off. Nice Woolworth sticker there, $24.99. I might keep that on just because of my nostalgia for Woolworths, because I used to work for them on their entertainment counters with all the games and music and film. So yeah, interesting seeing that sticker on there. Blast from the past. So yeah, very happy with this. It is complete as well. So we'll just pull this out. We've got instruction booklet. Again, really nice condition, that one. Decent. There is even the safety, warranty, precautions leaflet there. Nice Game Boy tray. Game's bagged up as well, so it's well looked after. Let's get that out. We've got the Game Boy box, or Game Boy game pack case. And let's pull that out. And there's the cartridge itself. And again, really very nice and clean. So yeah, I couldn't believe it when I saw that there. I don't know why I didn't believe it, because it's a game. Chances are eventually you'll see it somewhere. But just yeah, I don't know. I wasn't expecting to see that there at the gaming market, boxed and complete. So yeah, it's a pricey one in a way for me, but very, very happy to finally get this into the collection. Cheers everyone. So those are the pickups. I was happy with them. I may have said that already. But the gaming market itself then. So Bolton's second gaming market, 2026. And it was a very different experience to the 2025 one, which was the first one here. Yeah, very different. Mainly being that it was unbelievably busy. It was so busy compared to last year's, which was well attended. It was busy, but also a bit more sort of chilled out. It felt a bit more relaxed. You could sort of take your time. You could walk around. You didn't necessarily have to barge your way through to stalls and that kind of thing. This year was very different. It felt much more like your normal kind of gaming market. It certainly felt just as busy as, say, like the Liverpool one. I don't think it was quite as busy maybe as the Leeds one, but yeah, it was on a par with the Liverpool one. I don't know numbers, how many people attended or anything like that, but it certainly felt a lot busier this time around. It did seem like there was a lot of money being spent as well. It felt, I don't know, sellers will probably say or how good a day they had or not. I know Tutor UK was there again at the Bolton one. I don't know whether he did well or not. It seemed like there seemed to be a lot of sort of gaps where games had been bought in a lot of the stalls, so it felt like games were being bought. But yeah, it's hard to tell really just how successful it is, and really it's the sellers that would tell you that. But in terms of the actual event itself, it felt really well run again. Queue times were not too bad to get in or anything like that. And if anything, I would say if we're going to get the Bolton Gaming Market again in 2027, I do wonder whether they may think to move it from the Reebok, the Tough Sheet Community Stadium, into Bolton Arena across the road, which is a bit bigger. But then I don't know, maybe that might be too big in a way. So it'll be interesting to see, what happens next year. But yeah, definitely a lot busier this year. I did feel like it seemed on the face of it that the split between games sellers and merch sellers or non-gaming stuff sellers, there was, I don't know, it felt again a little bit this time, maybe there was a few more sort of non-game sellers there this time, which I get again, it sort of attracts different sort of demographics into the markets in a way. It also makes the the venues feel a lot fuller, and the tables get used, and obviously the organisers get the money from those as well. I personally didn't think it detracted too much from the actual games that were there. I still think there was a huge amount of game sellers there with a lot of stock, and overall, yeah, I just enjoyed it again. I really did. I thought it was a great day. It was a long day. I was absolutely exhausted by the end of the day, but it was good fun. And I did feel maybe this time I didn't spend quite as much time browsing through the stores. I sort of crammed that more in towards the end of the day when it was a little bit quieter. That first hour, sort of from 11:15 through till probably 1 o'clock-ish or something like that, it was just, that was the busiest, that was the peak time. But after about sort of 2 o'clock, half two, it did calm down a little bit, and it was quite nice then. Probably from half two to half three, it was quite a nice hour that. But yeah, overall, yeah, just absolutely loved it. Loved meeting up with the gang of YouTube and gaming collectors that I've been meeting up with over the last year or so. Donald Mackerel, 8BitH, and Dodgy D-Pad. It was fab to meet up with those guys once again. Next meetup is going to have to be organised. It was great to see Carl again from the Car Boot Sale. Always enjoy talking to Carl. I also met Parky's Gamers. We briefly met Parky's Gamers, who comments on the channel quite often. He was there with his son. Chris White as well. I had a good chat with Chris. It was nice to see you. And Pandori Magazine, who has a YouTube channel too, so check it out. He was one of the first guys I think I spoke to during the day as well. There were other people as well who sort of stopped me to say hello and thanked me for the channel and for the content. You don't have to thank me, so yeah, but it's appreciated. So yeah, again, it was just really nice to sort of stop and chat to everybody, and it wasn't a bad thing. And sorry, I forgot to mention that Virtua Father as well, and the Virtua Kids were there obviously as well, yeah, it didn't stop me from looking through games, but I sort of found myself just getting into conversations with people, which was quite nice. And it kind of in a way meant sort of less time for looking at games, but in the same way, that's kind of part of it. That's kind of what you want to do. It's kind of a social event too. So yeah, overall, just really enjoyed it again. I suspect they will probably do it again now at Bolton. I'm hoping it will be now a regular thing. I suppose last year was a bit of a trial run for it, but this year seems to have gone down pretty well. So hopefully they will do it again. Yeah, there's the usual gripes and groans, prices, etc. I guess condition of some of the games as well, as we've seen with Mortal Kombat 4 there. it sort of. I mean, they've marked the price down there, haven't they? So, but yeah, condition varies from seller to seller. Some sellers are quite happy to haggle. Some sellers are quite happy to just knock a little bit of money off if you ask. So yeah, I don't know. The usual gripes and groans. Yeah, busy. It was really busy. But I think all the gripes and groans I've kind of become used to now, and don't necessarily sort of think of it. I will just buy what I want to buy at the price that I want to buy it at, and you just got to expect that it is going to be a little bit busy too. So, yeah, gaming markets. I am fully invested in them now. I do love them. I do like going to them. I do want to go to more. I'm not sure when the next one that I will go to will be. I think the fact that I went to the Leeds one at the end of January and then this one, just at the start of March, so it was a bit of a 5-week gap, something like that. I'd like to leave a bigger gap between this and the next one, possibly, because there's a lot of the sellers go to all of these. So I was seeing a lot of similar stuff on some of the stalls. So I think if I was going to go to another one, it might be sort of late summer, possibly. But we'll see. We'll see. I think I've just got the bug for them now. I just enjoy going to them. So don't be surprised to see me pop up at one or two others potentially. Anyway, enough of me rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed the look around the market video as well. Thank you, as always, for your support and your comments, your likes, your shares, and just your time as well in watching these videos. It is massively appreciated. I do genuinely appreciate it. But yeah, thank you so much. If you've got any comments, what did you think of Mortal Kombat 64? Should I have left that, or have I picked up a bit of a semi sort of bargain at that price? Let me know what you think of that. Be interested. Have you played Alien 3 as well? Let me know. Yeah, get them into the comments. I will always try to reply. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.